Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is GC Performance here, back with another video. Today I have you guys a brand new 2021 Specialized Chisel. This model retails for $1,600. This is a size large, I believe. Has the flat pedals on there. Weighs in at 28 pounds, 6 ounces, and comes in at 12.85 kilos. Stay tuned after the video. We'll hear a free body sound test on these wheels right here. Thank you guys. Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is GC Performance here, back with another video. Today I have for you guys the brand new 2021 Specialized Chisel. This is the model that retails for $1,600. I believe it weighed in at 28 pounds, 6 ounces. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But I finally got my hands on this bike. I haven't seen it since the preseason launch of this thing. This thing actually launched in June, July of 2020. This is my first time seeing this bike in person. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about everything on this bike, the new frame design, who this bike is for, and then I'll also show off the components on it. This is in that gloss Oasis Forest color. It's very minty looking. So if you are looking at this color, just know that it's like a minty green slime. And sorry for the video right now of where it's at. The parking lot that I usually shoot in is actually being redone. I think they know that GC Performance is shooting videos over there, so no, I'm just messing around. But yeah, so whenever this gets done, hopefully they'll be moved out of there. But anyway, so who is the Chisel for? The Chisel is an in-between model between the ROCKHOPPER and the Epic Hardtail. So the ROCKHOPPER is like their $500 to $1,200 range. Their Chisels start at $1,600 and go up to $2,000, I believe. And then the Hardtails for the Epic start at $2,200. But being that this bike is a Chisel, it is aluminum frame. And then this is like more affordable, or more like an entry-level race-ready bike. So it is still very light. It's gonna be much lighter than the ROCKHOPPer. You can tell by his top tube how skinny he is right here. I mean, that's very skinny in those areas where it needs to be, and thicker where it needs the more stressed out areas like the bottom bracket, the head tube area. They lower the seat stays a little bit. Not only are these areas very tiny and skinny to reduce weight, but they made this big enough for a 30.9 dropper post. So if you did want to race like XC or maybe a little bit more enduro style races with this thing, you can do that. So you can put it's capable of a 30.9 dropper post on there. The new head tube angle for this bike for 2021 is 68. It has like a 68-degree rake, so you can see it's much more raked out, so it is capable of doing a little bit more bigger drops, all stuff like that. All internal cable housing, so all the cables are ran internally. You can see right here. And then it is a threaded bottom bracket for this year. And I believe, yes, it's a new, I'm gonna butcher this word so bad, but I'm sorry, M5D Illusio Smart Weld. So a new alloy that's actually able to make it thinner where it needs to be, and then they reinforce areas that needs to be thicker. It makes it stronger, and it makes the areas be more stiffer, everything. So a very well framed design. This is gonna be a better aluminum than what the ROCKHOPPer is, so it will respond better, be lighter, quicker, you know, more efficient on the climbs, everything. With this bike for $1,600, you do get a RockShox Judy front fork. Is a RockShox Judy front fork, 35mm stanchions. You have a lockout right here. This is air as well, so you'll be set to your weight specifics right there. You have a through axle. It is a boost setting, so it is a 15x110, so it can take up any mountain bike boost wheel on here. The wheels on here are going to be a stout aluminum rim. I believe 29mm internal width, so it is pretty wide, and they do come with a fast track 29x2.3 tire. Very fast tire. They are tubeless ready, and with this wider rim width inside there, they'll be capable of running a pretty low tire pressure as well. It is a Shimano Frio body on there. I'm sorry, Shimano front hub. You have center lock disc, and it just looks like a cheaper disc on there. Nothing crazy. Shimano rear brake, or I'm sorry, front brake. You have just normal, I believe these are Shimano Dior brakes on here. And then you have a 12-speed Shimano Dior shifter on here. You have your specialized lock-on grips. Very good looking. I love the new Dior and the Dior, the SLX and the XT shifting on here for the 12-speed is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's so smooth, very nice. And if you add this little clutch to it, which is already on, but if you turn that off, and you can actually hit this clutch right here to go on to make this cage more stiffer. This new shifting on here is so smooth and so fluid. I'm a big fan of that. That's a big competitor to SRAM. The XTR, for some reason, I don't know why, it feels like I'm sticking a screwdriver in a box of nails, and feels like I'm pushing past like a wall, and like I feel like I'm breaking the shifter. Some people said it needs to be stiff like that for the cage to not jump around like that. I don't know. XTR should feel like this Dior and SLX to me. The SLX feels absolutely phenomenal. So if you are getting this bike, just know that the components on here are absolutely amazing. So keep that in mind. You have a 31.8 specialized aluminum bar. You have a specialized alloy stem. And then head tube angle looks cool. Yes, love it. Cool. Going down here, 3 different holes for the water bottle. So you can place the cage up here if you like. You can place it down here. You can run a SWAT storage box in here. You can use these holes for whatever you want to do. Didn't mean to sound like that. Rear bottle cage back here. This is a threaded bottom bracket on here. So you can put whatever you want. A stout crank with a stout pro chainring. I believe stout is made by Specialized because I've had issues with them in the past, and I think that they're only dealer exclusive. It does come with the 32 tooth chainring on there, so you keep that in mind. And then crank arm length is a no 175. So 175 for the crank arm length. You have a nice bottom bracket clearance on there. Going on back here, you have this little rubber chain stay guard that's going to reduce chain slaps, so when you're riding, you're not going to hear that noise around here. You have a Shimano Dior chain on here, 12 speed. You have a Shimano Dior cassette in the back, 10 by 51 tooth. And then you have your Shimano Dior rear derailleur with the little lockout on here. That's nice. So when you have this off, this is going to be a little bit more of a smoother shift. Like if you're riding on road or maybe levies, the cage might bounce around a little bit more. When you flip this on, this is going to make this cage more stiffer. So it's going to be a little bit harder of a shift and more predominant of a shift, but it'll keep this from chain slapping around. So extra chain slap protection. Rear wheel is going to be the same stout aluminum rim, 29mm internal width for the rims with a Shimano Freya body on there. I do have a Freya body sound test at the end of it, but this is just a regular 12-speed micro spline Freya body on here with a center lock rear rotor. And then you have a fast track 29 by 2.3 tire in the rear as well. They are tubeless ready. You just need to get the valves on there. Comes with a power saddle. I believe this is their Sport. It's a $60 saddle. They don't actually sell aftermarket, but very comfortable. It's gonna be a nice saddle for you. You have the rear through axle. Again, it's a 12 by 148. It is boost ready with your Shimano rear disc brake in the rear. And like I said, just a cheaper thingy thing right there. Rotor, sorry. But yes, the weight I did give off is with these plastic pedals. And yeah, I just thought this bike was really cool. So, 1,600 bucks, you're getting a race-ready CHISEL bike that is a lot lighter than a ROCKHOPPER. The parts on it are going to be more structurally sound for riding, let's say, single track that you don't have to worry about them getting beat up. Like with a ROCKHOPPER, that's $500 or $600. Let's be honest with you. It is a great-looking bike. It's a great entry-level bike, but on single track, if you do take on more extreme stuff, they do get beat up quicker. The spokes don't last as long. The wheels don't last as long. The components don't last as long. They're not meant to take that big of a beating. So keep that in mind. With a CHISEL, it's going to be more sound. The frame is definitely developed to be a little bit more of a XC race type ready bike. And with these longer wheelbases, the bigger rake on here, you're able to tackle bigger drops, bigger jumps, bigger features, and have that clearance. And also with the longer wheelbase, it's easier to climb as well. You'll be able to get up the mountain quicker. I think it's very cool that they made this so skinny right here, yet you're still able to run 30.9 C-posts in here. So if you did want to add a dropper post, that is something cool. Just a quick note, the chisels on here are only a 1x frame. You cannot add a 2x to it. So if you're going to buy a chisel, it is only a 1x ready. So keep that in mind. $1,600, you're getting a 12-speed bike with an air front fork by RockShox, a very lightweight aluminum frame, and a bike that you can really, kind of just beat up, but will perform with all the beats taken on it, if that makes, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. But yes, CHISEL is a very cool bike. We sell more ROCKHOPPERs and Epics, but I think with this new revamp of this 2021 style, hopefully we'll sell more of these. Honestly, I think we would have sold a ton of these during this pandemic if they actually had them available to order. We had a lot of people asking for that kind of, especially with the entry-level people who heard from their friends not to get a ROCKHOPPER because they want to get into the sport. This is a great bike that if you don't want to spend the money on a ROCKHOPPER and be stuck with that 7/8 speed with a coil shock, this is a great bike that you can start with, have nice suspension, have nice components, have a nice frame geometry, get into the sport, and really, I mean, you could keep this bike for a long time, even for a training bike. So keep that in mind. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next video. All right, so we got here the 2021 CHISEL, $1,600 model with a regular alloy rim and a Shimano Freya body on here. I'm gonna go to your Freya body sent this right now. All right, guys. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.